G'day, it's Paul Neeshaw, aka Stick Beetle. That's where you'll find me on Twitter, tweeting nearly as much as Donald Trump, but just a little less aggressively. No caps lock on with my tweets. Now, I've got a question for you. I know if you're watching this, you're serious about your rugby league, and you love your rugby league. Now, I've got a question for you. How would you like to see an international rugby league test window put into the calendar? It's wrapped round here in Australia, and it's, we've got a standalone Origin match this weekend and a whole bunch of test matches that mean a lot to the players playing in them, but they're a bit hodgepodge. It's just got, we've got New Zealand playing Tonga and Samoa, Lebanon, Fiji, PNG, etc. playing games. Now, I'd like to put a bit of structure into this. Now, I love my NRL. I also love my Super League. I love my Origin. Who doesn't love Origin? It's the high standard of rugby league. Now, some people see Origin as the pinnacle of rugby league in the world. I would love to see international footy as the pinnacle. Playing for Australia, playing for your country, playing for your nation should be what it's all about. That should be the pinnacle of your, what you're striving to achieve. Now, my issue with Origin is that here in Australia every year, it disrupts and heavily impacts the NRL season. We've got substandard teams getting put out, players getting injured, or coming back Origin fatigued and get rested anyway, so they end up missing games for their clubs. Now, one way of getting around this and promoting international footy is through having an international window. Now, it's one way of rising the standard of international rugby league. We've seen in the last couple of World Cups the rise of Tonga, and Fiji have made the semi-finals in the last two World Cups. How good would it be if we went to a World Cup not knowing who was going to make the semi-finals, who was going to win it? I personally think a great way of raising the profile of international rugby league and improving the standard is to have a standardised month-long break of the season, domestic leagues in England and Australia. I think it's worth a shot. Now, to do this, we'd need a month-long international window. Now, I know that may disrupt the domestic seasons really heavily. The Super Rugby here used to do it. They've stopped it this year because of the World Cup in Japan later this year. We'd have about a 3-week period where all the best teams from the Northern Hemisphere come down and play some awesome matches. And then the Super Rugby would kick back on. Now, I'm pretty sure they're getting rid of that next year, but there's no reason why it can't be tried here. I mean, our season here in Australia is already heavily interrupted and disrupted. Now, what do we do with a 4-week international window? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's something I prepared earlier. Here is my 4-week international window program. Now, of course, we've got State of Origin through this period. Now, what I would like to see, and give it a crack, is running concurrently, for example, a 2-group test series. In Group A, we'd have New Zealand, Samoa and Fiji. Group B, England, Tonga and PNG. And this would be how it would work. Week 1, State of Origin 1, New South Wales and Queensland. New Zealand would play Samoa. England would play Tonga. Now, for this to work, we'd need a midweek test, which I would make New Zealand and England play in because they would have the strongest and most deep squads. So midweek, for example, New Zealand would play Fiji, England would play PNG. Week 2, we're back into it. Origin 2, New South Wales, Queensland. Now, you can see here, Fiji play Samoa, Tonga play PNG. England, New Zealand get a rest. Week 3, this is where it all really kicks in. New South Wales play Queensland in Origin 3. Now, everyone's played each other here in these groups, so the winner of Group A played the winner in Group B. For fairness sake, let's go on world rankings. New Zealand would play England. Now, Week 4 is where it climaxes. At the end of Origin, an Australian side would be picked, making State of Origin a true selection criteria. You're playing not only state against state, you get to bash each other for 3 weeks. You put all that aside, you slip on the green and gold jersey, and you get to bash someone else. Hence, on world rankings, it would be England. Australia would play England. So there's my idea for a 4-week international window. I think it could work. I think it's worth a shot. But most importantly, rugby league lovers out there, what do you think?